So this video is on how to identify perfect squares and then also how to factor using the difference of squares. So the first thing we're going to look at is how to find a perfect square. So you'll remember that the coefficient needs to be a perfect square and then the exponent needs to be even. So if we look at our first example here, we have 25, which can be split into 5 times 5. So 25 is a perfect square. But if you look at our exponent here, our exponent is odd because 5 cannot be split into two equal things, whole numbers that add to 5. And we're not including decimal exponents right now. So we would say, no, this is not a perfect square. The next one is 16b8. 16 can be split into 4 times 4, and 8 is even because 4 plus 4 equals 8. So this can be split into 4b to the 4 times 4b to the 4. Remember, the definition of a square is that it's the same thing multiplying itself, basically. So this one is a perfect square. The next one, we can see that 2 is even, which is good because 2 can be split into 1 plus 1 equals 2. However, 63 is not a perfect square. The closest thing would be 7 times 9, I think. So this is not a perfect square because 63 is not perfect. The last one, we have 81. 81 can be split into 9 times 9. 12 is even because 6 plus 6 equals 12. So we have 9x to the 6 times 9x to the 6. These are the same. Thus, this is a perfect square. So if you look over here, we are factoring using the difference of squares. So I would start by double checking that 81 and 16 are perfect squares, which they are. The 2 and the 4 are both even numbers. And we have subtraction. So we know that our two middle terms would cancel each other. So these are all good. So I'm going to start by drawing our box here. I'm going to put 81x squared in the first box, negative 16y to the 4th in the last box. If we split up 81, we would have 9 times 9 is 81. And if we split up x into two groups, we would have x to the 1 and x to the 1. Then if we split up this negative 16y to the 4th, we would have negative 4 and positive 4 because we need a negative 4 and a positive 4 if we're going to multiply to negative 16. And then we have y squared and y squared because 2 plus 2 is going to give us 4. And we'll double check here. 9 times 9 is 81. 1 plus 1 is 2. So our answer would be 9x1 minus 4y squared times 9x1 plus 4y squared. So this here would be our final answer for factoring using the difference of squares. So now that you've finished watching this video and you watched the completing the square video, you should be ready to try a few problems on your own. Thanks. Bye.